Hello everyone! So today we are going to be talking about some of the new Nendoroids. Which, don't get me wrong, I still love Nendoroids, but I have some problems with the new ones, so I thought I would just share them with everybody. And that's not to say like, oh, I only have 5 Nendoroids and here's my beef with them. Just statistically seeing over the Nendoroids I do have, which is probably like 60 at this point. This is just things I've noticed with some of the newer releases, and I'm kind of a little annoyed and fed up about, and I slightly hope that somebody from Good Smile actually sees this and maybe make improvements. But I know this was addressed. I hate these boxes. Unfortunately, a few of the characters I do like got these boxes where the entire packaging, if you have not seen it, is literally just this cardboard insert. Because they're supposed to be like environmentally friendly boxes, and not to be mean, but I'm sorry, I'm not collecting figures to save the environment, so like, please, can I just have my nice figure box? I don't care, like, if you want to do stuff like this with prize figures, but when I'm buying posable Nendoroids and just expensive stuff in general, like, please don't go environmentally friendly on me, because I'm keeping this box. Like, this box is never going in the landfill. I suppose when I die, but then again, I hope like this never goes in the landfill. So that's my number 1 problem with Nendoroids. And then my number 2, which I don't have Sakura super accessible. I'm also always afraid of touching her, Cardcaptor Sakura, because she likes to crumble into 1,000 pieces. But her head, for her Nendoroid, she has this giant hat and it's magnetic. And I thought that was going to be the same with Chino. So yeah, imagine my surprise when Chino's hat does not do that. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe it's just because Chino is one of the try to break stuff. One of the cheaper Nendoroids. Okay. Now Nobu's hat does fit more snugly, but it's also not magnetic. So I was really disappointed because Nendoroids, just with how expensive they are, like, they weren't giving us that ability of having the magnetic hats anymore, which is definitely a bummer. The other thing is I hate this new base. So the new base is this weird, like, grid formation, where I liked before the ability to kind of move around where the characters are standing. I'm using Kana. She's a little bit older at this point, but that's how the bases have always looked. And then anybody that's a specialty Nendoroid, like some of the Snow Mikus and the Yorha units, near characters, they all had, especially their DX ones, I want to say their bases were like that much bigger, and this is perfectly normal. They've also changed the Nendoroid joints. It's not this thing, which she's a little bit older, so she doesn't have it, but I love this piece. One of the newer ones actually has another bend here, so you can kind of have this weird squiggly line thing to stand them up immediately, but it works so well, and I absolutely love this stand, and I don't know why they decided that this new one would be such a great idea, because I hate it. I hate it so much. Mourning the loss of the beautiful stand, because instead we have this hideous abomination that is this weird elbow joint and then this stick, which then, like, if I want to like have her standing more upright, she's not hooked in anymore. So I'm like, okay. But so like anybody now that has long hair with this new joint, like, if it's not hair that's like done upright, like, you have this really hard time like getting them to actually stand at a normal angle. Like, that's, I guess, more there we go. She's not actually leaning back, but now she's hovering, and I didn't exactly want her to hover, So I'll just start with her. That's definitely my biggest problems with it, because like, sure, this angle kind of works a little bit better too, but she's still sitting a little off, and she's also not feeling as stable. So that's definitely just super bumming. Oh, though I feel like a dummy that I did just realize that she has their little plastic piece they like sticking on like hair accessories sometimes to like keep it to stay put, but I'm never really a big fan of these because they always feel super cheap and like I'm gonna break it. So that does, I guess, appease my complaints mostly about her hat, or that I hate dealing with them is my thing, just because they feel super easy to break, and sometimes you can't pull the bangs apart super easily to like insert the part there, so it can be really difficult. But like the newer Nendoroids are still really cute. I think another problem I have, like, I like the extra joint mobility, but for certain Nendoroids this is definitely a little bit of a problem, which I noticed that Nobu didn't actually have that extra joint. But I'm gonna use her for example. Like, she's actually at this really funky angle right now. Like, she looks like she's hunched over because of this new post, and people like her, like, I feel like could benefit greatly from the old posts. Like, because I keep messing with this one because I really don't like how she's standing. So like, I can have her hovering, sure, but I didn't really want her hovering. And this new post, like with her hair and cape, like just make it so hard to pose her. Like that. Like, she's gonna fall over so easily. I think the only other big problem too with her, to be fair, is the classic Nendoroid problem, is because she has so many fine parts. With her sword clicks into her hip, and this is a different arm I put on with the gun, and the gun can like come out of her hand and stuff. Like, she's another one of those Nendoroids that's super easy to make crumble like a Lego because there's just so many pieces on her. Long term, does this mean I'll stop buying Nendoroids completely? No, if I'm gonna be honest, but there's going to be more characters now. I'm definitely gonna think more about getting them, and I'm probably gonna start cutting, like, doing the complete sets for characters, because sometimes, like, even though people aren't my favorite, I would still order like the entire set. Like, and actually I pre-ordered her way before I found this out, but she is sealed at the moment, but I do really love Fairy Tail. But for example, like collecting everybody out of a set like this, where there's probably going to be like 5 Nendoroids in the end, I'm probably going to start cutting back a lot on those kinds of sets, or just focus on collecting older Nendoroids and not ordering newer ones as often. Because until I've seen the change in the post, that's really going to drive me absolutely nuts, or the base. So I'm praying they change it, and if they don't, then that just means I'm saving myself some money. I think the biggest one that will be affected by this is going to be Miku Nendoroids overall, because I do really like collecting her as Nendoroids, but I'm going to start really limiting even more now with these bases that I'm not really in love in, because I don't want to spend all that money on them and then just kind of have them sit there and like not really enjoy them. So I can see how it turns out in the future. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!